Good day everyone. Today I'll be making a tutorial video about how you make lip syncs on Flipaclip. Now anytime you want to make a lip sync on Flipaclip, the first thing you want to do is import your audio. Now if you want to record your own voice directly, you can click on this plus icon and click on audio recorder. Once you click on audio recorder, you press and hold this part to record your audio. Now today I'll be recording the audio based on the request that I got from my previous video by Evelyn Tadeo 9349. Evelyn Tadeo 9349 says, "Can you make a simple talking animation?" And that's what I'm going to do and record. So I click on record. Can you make a simple talking animation? Let me play back my audio to see whether it's satisfactory. Can you make a simple talking animation? Now that that's done, I will add the audio to my timeline. If I want to delete an audio that has already existed and that I do not desire, I can simply click on it. And then click this delete icon. And if I want to move my audio to the various available slots, I'll hold it and move it up. If I want to trim my audio, I click on the audio and then I move this part of it to where I want the audio to cover. Then I can move the audio within the slot to the left and to the right. Now that that's done and I'm satisfied with it, can you make a simple talking animation? I'll click on this icon over here and close it. Now, when you want to make a character move, you can do it the simple way and just draw your voice over on the mouse. But if you want it to look much more professional, you need to know that when someone is speaking, the lower jaw does most of the movement. The parts that are involved in speech are the lip, the jaw, the tongue. So it's good for you to have two parts of your character. One where the jaw is at its resting point and the other where the jaw is moving. Now that that's done, you also need to know the shapes the mouth takes when it's making various sounds. Now I have a small sketch here. Whenever a person wants to pronounce the ha sound, the mouth, the upper and lower lips are far apart and the inside of the mouth is much more open. When you are pronouncing the e sound, the upper teeth and the lower teeth are closer together and there is a slight opening. The sh sound is usually drawn with the mouth closed. The o sound is drawn like the ho itself. Anytime someone is pronouncing the sound, it's usually indicated, although most people don't make this movement in real life, but for the sake of animations, you want the teeth, the upper teeth, to clench on top of the lower lip and give it that sound. And when you want to pronounce the l, like L, you want to show a little bit of the tongue resting on the upper lip. And a simple way to do that is to draw it this way. And this is L. Now these are the vowels and consonants and sounds that I can think of for now. Now you actually draw them and make them look. Now that that one is settled, you want to go over your animations and follow the sound. Now if I'm dragging my animation timeline here, notice that the sound started at frame 3. If you listen attentively, you hear it. Now for that, there is really no much jaw movement involved. And since it's a sound, you draw it the same way you would draw a sh sound. albeit a little bit closed than the sh is. After the r is what follows. You erase this. Usually the upper part of the lip doesn't move that much, so you want the lower part of the lip to be down. This is a ha sound. Now, there's something I realized midway while making this animation. For the sake of simplicity, I think it is better for you to animate your mouth movement on a different layer from the jaw movement. So, what I'm going to do now is just animate the movement of the mouth. Then after I'm done with the movement of the mouth, I will now go back to my jaw layer to start adjusting the part where I feel the jaw should open and the jaw should close. So I'm going to come over here, create a new layer, label it mouth. Done. Come back to my outline layer, then take this lip, copy it, and move back to the mouth and paste it over there. Then come back to this main outline. Now delete this, erase. Yeah. So now we have the mouth layer. I'll also go back to this previous frame where I made this E pronunciation. Copy this, copy, then I'll erase it, then I'll move back to my mouth layer and paste it over there. That way I'll be able to animate the mouth movement before adding the jaws movement to the other parts of the animation. So now let's just focus on the lip movement. Can ends with a n, and that n is also similar to this. So I'll just copy this mouth movement, copy this n, and paste it at frame 5. Let me switch off the sketch layer so that I can focus more on this. And then for the outline layer, let me reduce the opacity and paste the n here on the mouth layer.
Can you make it?
Now you see that notice that the U started in frame 4. So what this basically means is that when you're animating lip movement, if you want to go for accuracy, then you want to animate at higher frames, and that means you have much more work to do. If I was animating at 24 frames per second, then I'll be able to lip sync precisely. But now that I'm animating at 12 frames per second, there are parts where maybe when I put the ha sound, it's taking 2 frames because I'm animating at 12 frames per second instead of 1 frame. If I was animating at 24 frames per second, and might lead to the extension of the lips. So now this might not accommodate this n sound that is at frame 5, because what is being pronounced here at frame 5 is a U. So let's erase this and put the U. For the U, the mouth might be shaped a little bit like this. It's similar to O, but the unique shape is like this U. Now, around this frame, I'm going to leave this frame as it is, because the mouth, once you give the impression that the mouth has already returned back to its normal level. So can. Or you know what? Let's not leave it this way. Let's just give it that position. So So when you're animating, you might want to add these lines at the side of the end of the lip to make it seem the person is making a sound. Make. Now you know after the comes a hey sound. So let's copy this sound. Copy this. And let's add a little bit of opening to the mouth. May you make it. I think this seems more like than hey. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw the right lip for May, which is much more open than. And I'm going to move this to the other side, copy this, and erase, paste it here, then let me delete this part so that everything can align. I'll remove this part. So it says, can you make a simple now this lip at frame 3 is also good for note you can pronounce with both your teeth closed. So copy this. You make it. Now after the C, cause simple, copy the Now for the poo, you can use the U. This U at frame 5. You can also copy this U at frame 5 and use it for the poo. Because everything is going to be in motion, you just want to create that impression. You don't need to be too accurate. Now after the poo comes the L sound. L. I told you when you want to make L, you show the tongue a little bit. So it's simple. You can also use the U for the T. Copy this. Simple. Now let's play this back and just see what the first part of the animation looks like.
Can you make a simple talking and
talk? So after the simple talk comes an all sound. So you just have to be patient with this tutorial video if you're going to get it step by step. You can see this is the end of my frames. I haven't copied the base frame of the character face, so I'll come back to my outline layer, copy this resting face, copy, and move to the end, and paste it. Paste. But instead of doing this manually, let me just come here to frames viewer and copy these 2 frames. Copy it, duplicate, copy, duplicate. So copy, just in case. So
talking animation. Can you make a simple talking? Can you make a
so after it comes an or. You draw the or below the upper lip, since it's usually the lower lip that moves.
talking animation.
So the or lasts a while, so you copy this or to the next frame, copy, paste. Then comes the key. You can use this for the key. Talking. Cool. After the king comes ha. So you can use the key for the knee as well.
Can you make a animation? Can you make a simple talking animation?
So animation. Remember that we have before, so you look for your copy it at frame 6, animate, copy, and move back to that frame. And so put the may and follow it with the hey mouth again. This is A. So this is A. Copy the A, move it over. Animation, it has this shh that comes with it. So by now you should already know that this is the next thing we're going to add. Animation, so you have an or that comes after that, so you can look for your or sound and use this. But because it's not really an O that makes the mouth very round, you can decide to warp it a little bit with your transform tool. Then this sh also doubles as a n. So Sean. Now let's play it back, and you see that it sort of fits perfectly.
Can you make a simple talking animation? Can you make a simple talking animation?
Now to some of you this is already perfect, but because I like to go, well, how can I put it? I like my animation to be somewhat realistic. You don't have to if you don't want to. This is the part where I now start moving the jaw. I come back for the jaw movement. Let's come over to this frame. Let me increase the outline. I want to erase the base lip. Erase this. Then I'm going to copy with my lasso tool. Copy. And then I come over to the part that I think the jaw should move, like this part. I'll delete this and then I'll paste. I'll delete the base lip here. Raise the base lip here too. Now this part I would want it to move a little bit, but not as much. So let me just raise this part up a little. So I feel that there's a lot of jaw movement here, so I'm adding that in there. And here as well. Ha. Yeah, so now that everything is done, our talking animation is ready.
Can you make a simple talking animation?
Let's increase the opacity.
Can you make a simple talking animation?
So just take note of this chart. It can be very helpful in guiding the lip movement. Now another thing you want to know when you are making your animation, your lip syncing, is what it also look like from the side. Now from the side, let me just show you what the character talking looks like. Same thing is also quite applicable. So you can just copy the frame, copy this, move it to the next, paste. Then you want to move the jaw as well, just to give you that illusion of movement. So this is a slight opening. This is an E. If you want it to have an R, you make it much more open than that. You can move this circle at your select tool so that you can inch the movement. So this is an R. If you want an O, you can draw it this way. Copy that same face, move the character, inch the movement, open it a little bit, then move the lip, erase this part, then move the lip to make an O sound. O. If you want the character to pronounce a she or a ni, you can also select it, move the center point, inch it a little bit, draw the lower lip, and draw both teeth clenched together for a she. Now, if I'm going to play it back, look at this. The character appears to be moving. So you just have to repeat the same step that you've seen me do in the previous character when she was looking forward, and sync it with your audio. So that's basically all you need to learn for making your characters talk. Now, if you want to take it further, there is also the position where your character has to move the body, gesticulate, because when we human beings talk, we just don't remain static like a robot like this most times. Although sometimes we do.
Can you make a simple talking animation? 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 So that is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope this video is helpful and have a blessed day. Peace.